that's about as good a way to begin as any here on Indian Trace. I'm doing a Heritage series, which I've had a lot of good shout outs for, to just try to share the collection so that, some folks out there and friends who never get a chance to see the collection, to handle the pieces, which is one of our, as collectors, favorite things to be able to do, or a person can just simply reach on in and check out a piece. Now this is a reddish brown material, really cool. It's in my smoker's bin, which I want to highlight today on the Heritage series. And when it was wet out there, it was really wild. It's a brownish red material, and just look at that point. Just a great thing to me. So it's in there because it was the odd man out, and I want to show you what else was in this one bin. And keep that in mind as you tune into Indian Trace here. This one double wide, I like to call it double wide, harnesses and holds these smokers. Now, of course, if I had a big flat-out frame, that might make an awesome frame someday. I want to give you a tour over the top of each one of these pieces and just really show you why these points impress me, and show you what we find right here in eastern North Carolina. All of these areas are close by to me. They have to be accessible, and I can't really travel a whole lot, to hunt artifacts. Where on earth to begin? That's the question. I have a lot of really great stuff I want to look at here, and laid out, it just has a really great look. Of course, they all are the same variety, maybe the same feel. Let me start my groups of three. I have two groups of three, and this is one of them. Now, every point here, every point that was in that bin, as you can see, you can pick one out, you can even push pause. Every point here is a complete smoker. It's my smoker's bin. So let's look at these three right here. And I've placed them on this layout, sort of by feel, by size, by look, what have you. But look at these pieces. And I'll try to let here or there the light and hopefully a good focus speak for itself on the artifacts. And I know you guys out there, and I know people that love artifacts. Indeed, I think you'll probably agree that these are, just some of the great ones in my body. I'm blessed. I've really been collecting for a very short amount of time. Those three are just a great start right there. And with that short amount of time collecting, 2 years, I say intelligently, and there's somebody who wrote and said, what do you mean by that? Well, the first year I was running all over the place trying to identify where these areas are that hold these artifacts. Look at these points. This came from Mecca with a traditional shape arrowhead. Anyway, that first year I was really trying to just find out where on earth might be good places to look. Now the second and third year here that just passed were the years that I knew where was a good area because of a find here or there or a collection of finds. Those three. And so now this is the accumulation of 2 years of just being blessed, coming across some good stuff. Let me go the bottom row first, I think. And looking close at these and hearing from people all over the country and what they can find and what they can't. Now look at the bottom of this. This is so ground and smooth, if I can get my focus working. Look at that piece. Just a nice, unique piece. And so I had to have a bin that held points that, for whatever reason, struck a chord in my heart as special. And it wasn't just the way they were found, it was a certain style, a certain size, that sort of thing. But they sort of just made it, and some of them made it without even a question into my smoker's bin. And eventually, I'm going to probably just throw all these that I really consider smokers when I have to clear it out and I just have to go on and find some more room or do something. Look at this point. Into a frame together because they look good together. Notch fill point. This again is another notch fill point right here next to it. Another notch fill point. And you guys know areas when you hear me do them, and I'll shout it out. Look at this point. Little relief on the back. Keep an eye on my time as I go. Another notch fill point. I could say that a lot. I mean, I found a lot there. I found over 300, 400 artifacts out there. I have a family friend, a landowner that really lets me hunt a lot, and that's where I found that. You've heard me mention Saponi. That's where I found that piece. That's another piece where the backside is just really smooth down on the base, just smoothed off. Just a great point. All right. Man, makes your head spin, doesn't it? I mean, you couldn't even imagine grabbing these in one day. But now when I hear that some folks out there have, been collecting 30 years, 2 years sort of seems like one day. And if I imagine I found all these right here in one day, I mean, maybe it wouldn't be as special, maybe it wouldn't be. Take a look at these pieces. As we keep rolling right along, I'm trying to get through this whole smoker's bin. This is just one bin in the trusty tackle box, Look at this piece. The archaic. This is from a new area. I found 2 atlatl weights where I found this point right here. Not complete ones. They were broken, but, good stuff. This came from the B&B field where I was today, and I just didn't find a whole lot. We need some rain. You guys know how that is. These points are smoking, aren't they? And I would love to see some of your collections, favorite pieces for whatever reason, just up close, just like if I was able to pick them up, you know what I mean? And, that's a cool thing to be able to do. Easy in the digital age as I go through these. Nice. I can't really say towards the top they're going to get better because these, every single piece one after another, you're seeing why they're in this box. Two notch fill pieces, 3 notch fill pieces. That's why I go back to notch fill. And a lot aren't. Like this one is not. This one is from the Bear too. And, this one below it's from the Dunes. Just great stuff. You know how a piece sometimes just catches your imagination and you say, man, I just love that. It's one of my favorite points. Now these are the top as I finish. Are great points. And just because of size and layout, I mean, not particularly more favorite than any of the other points right here. I just happen to put them at the top. So let's go ahead and finish out strong and get a up close and personal of these ones. Just bring you right up close to the collection and to some smokers that I've had here. And this one was never on film when I found it. Many of these weren't. Or they're an older video, and there's many now that you never find them if you go back in time. Just click any of the videos. Usually there'll be a smoker on there if I filmed it. I just try to film smokers or what have you, but that right there is a smoker, that's for sure. Look at the relief on this one. And the final point is this. The back is ground. It's a nice looking point. Anyway, as the time ticks on, no more than 10 minutes, I just wanted you guys to be able to come up close and personal to some of my points that I consider my absolute best smokers, at least around the 2-inch range. Whew. Thanks for tuning in to Indian Trace. Hope you find that there.